And you remember the tears from the fake news media when it was obvious that we were going to win. And you know what? They're still crying. Look at them. They're still crying.
Donald Trump is a sensitive dude.
You know what?
He really cares about the feelings of all of the people involved in every given state. It's like, I love it when he gets that thing going behind his. It's like, I'm really going to just let it all out here, and it comes from his gut.
Yes. It's so true.
Tim Jones in the studio with us now.
Oh, man, I love you were playing the Crazy Jackie earlier, right?
Wacky
Jackie.
Wacky Jackie will never vote for us, folks. Never. She's wacky.
Well, he's right.
She's never going to vote for us.
She's wacky. Can you clip the she's wacky thing? I want that.
Absolutely.
You can't argue with that. He's right.
Yeah.
She's not, just like Claire McCaskill decided she's not going to vote with anything that Donald Trump wants or that Missourians, plus 19 Missourians, want.
So, Claire McCaskill, if she wins, Missouri is in for 6 more years of Claire McCaskill.
It could happen.
So, I know Kavanaugh is a lifetime appointment, but 6 more years of McCaskill feels like a lifetime appointment.
It's like a life sentence.
Yes, it is. Trust me, I'm from Illinois. I'm currently serving my life sentence. It's unending.
You and all the other governors over there.
Oh my, no, those are actual sentences. Those are sentences that are handled in
Who would
court.
want to run for that job?
Okay, I've been debating on whether to go into this.
Let's go.
Tim
brought it up.
The governors. There was a debate last night. Did you know that in the state of Illinois?
And there was?
He was in Chicago.
Okay.
And
nobody got shot, did they? Sorry.
That did not happen.
I keep segueing you off of everything. Yeah.
It was awful. It was. I'm infuriated by it.
Was it like a lurch to the left of left? Was everybody trying to go as left as possible?
Here's the thing. And I struggle with this because I don't want J.B. Pritzker to win. I don't. There's no part of me that is wanting to do a single thing to encourage anybody to contribute to a J.B. Pritzker win. But I'm waiting on Governor Rauner until November to give me a reason to vote for him. And I watched an hour debate, and the message is that I'm still waiting.
He was a disappointment. He's been a disappointment, right?
Very much so. And we are working really hard on trying to get him on the show.
Very hard.
We've connected with his people, and it just seems as though they're dragging their feet. There's something about this show that they don't want to be associated with.
Does he do any media, or does he just stay away from it?
It's very protected. They're definitely they definitely put themselves in a position to feel very comfortable. And if he wants to come on the show, and I want him to come on the show,
yes.
I get asked all the time what to do, and I want nothing more to be like, here's why you're going to vote for Bruce Rauner, and this is why you can sleep at night after you cast your vote. So, Governor, come on the show and talk to me.
Right.
My vote is here for the taking. It's like I'm throwing it at you, but I need to know that you can catch it. And I need to know why 4 years of Governor Rauner is going to be worthy of my vote, because it's my vote for you to earn. You don't get it. You don't deserve it. You're not entitled to it. And if I decide to sleep on it, I'm not going to go vote for J.B. Pritzker. That's for darn sure. But it's very frustrating. And I understand when we just had this caller in David who said he's sick of this Republican Party. And I understand the element, the threat of what he's talking about, Tim, is that this Republican Party has talked about repealing Obamacare for how long?
12 years, 10 years, 10 years.
I mean,
10 years.
Ever since Obama got elected in 2008, he's been talking about this idea of the Affordable Health Care Act, which was nothing affordable, and it didn't do what it was supposed to do, because the dirty secret is the way it quote unquote works is if it becomes a full-on public option, single payer option.
Right. This was Obamacare was never meant to be what it was portrayed as. And my proof on that is even Nancy Pelosi, who was Speaker of the House at the time, and hopefully never again, said we would have to find out what was in the bill after we passed it. We'd have to pass it first, then we'll learn. So, Annie, they didn't care what was in the bill. This was just a design to... Here's what happens with government, and having been a legislator. You get a framework of something, incrementalism. Republicans have a tough time with incrementalism. We like to be the purists. If we can't get the perfect bill, we don't want any bill. We let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Not Democrats. They're all about incrementalism, and it's how our society has become more and more government laden over the last 50, 60 years. With the income tax, with the war on poverty, okay, all that stuff. The war on when are we going to win the war on poverty? You know, we've spent $80 gazillion. It's been going on for 70 years, and apparently we're still fighting it. We're going to fight it forever. But anyway, so with Obamacare, their goal was to never have Obamacare work. It was to put a skeletal structure in there to then say, well, this isn't quite working.
Yes.
So now we have to have the next step, which is Bernie Sanders's Medicare for all.
Which was part of, if I'm not mistaken, the 1990s version of Hillary Care, which lost in 2016. I'm sorry to break it to the folks who can't handle that. Donald Trump won, and to David's point when he was calling in and being so frustrated with this Republican Party, we do have tax cuts. You're a huge champion of the Trump tax cuts.
Just got back from our latest tour,
but where are the spending cuts?
Right. Yes.
That is as if not more important to the conservative agenda, to shrinking this overbloated government. And like David, I don't want conservative big government any more than I want liberal big government. I want smaller government.
That's why the judges issue is so important. And why do you think the onslaught against Judge Brett Kavanaugh, probably one of the most decent human beings walking the planet, is so severe? They tried everything over the last 2 weeks, didn't they? They had people dressing up. I don't know if you saw some of the street scenes during the protests. There was some, I don't know if it was a guy or a lady. It was some body dressed up in a pink condom, full pink condom suit. Really? This is where we've gone to?
Where do you go to buy that?
I have no idea.
I guess maybe it's on Amazon.
So they've even gone to
I've never
doing
shopped.
Right. We never shopped there.
I've never shopped for one.
They've gone to that because, Danny, that's the one thing that they see conservatives having a huge victory on. And a lot of people voted for Donald Trump because of the judge thing, and we're winning on it.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell. I actually saw Mitch McConnell 2 weeks ago in Kentucky, got to speak with him. He said, look, there's only so much I can do that could ever be permanent, right? Any law I pass can be undone. But where can I have a more permanent effect? And a lot of people give Mitch McConnell trouble for not doing more. Let me tell you where he's done a lot. He said, Tim, I can have a generational effect on the courts, and that's what he's done. So he's got Gorsuch in, Kavanaugh, we're close. He gave a speech to, and he said it's going to happen. But all the lower courts, Mitch McConnell and President Donald Trump have confirmed more Republican judges to the lower courts than the previous 5 presidencies in their first 2 years combined.
That's wild.
So isn't that great? Nobody knows that. The media is not reporting on it.
So explain to me exactly the implication of that, why that is such a big deal.
Generational constitutional conservatism coming out of all of our federal courts from sea to shining sea. Dare I even say, maybe even the Ninth Circus out in California.
Yeah, I mean, there are real things that are happening in this administration that are very good, and I can't even imagine if the entire media would be fully invested in the success of this administration like they were from 2008 to 2016, what we would be capable of.
Yes, one last little story. So every time Chucky Schumer comes to McConnell with a request, like, can we take Friday off so my people can go home and campaign, or can we have this extra day, right? McConnell goes, well, sure, that'll cost you 5 judges, or that'll cost you 10 judges. And every single time Schumer has conceded to that. So McConnell has gotten dozens of brand new, young, conservative Republican judges on these benches. So even if we lose an election...
So you're saying that Schumer is these people are leaving and they're voting when they leave?
No. He's
Schumer
making
stays.
deals. He's making deals. So McConnell's saying, fine, the Senate will take a break on Friday, but you're going to give me 10 judges in exchange for that holiday.
And
Schumer's giving in. So that's the politics of being played. But hey, we'll take it, right? Because laws come, laws go. Elections come, elections go. Judges, the federal court system stay for decades, if not generations. And so even if we lose an election here and there, and I hope we don't this midterm, and you and Mark and me and everybody else on the station has said, this is the most critical midterm of your lifetime, because if you like the policies that are happening right now, putting aside the personality of the president, if you don't like his talking points or his mannerisms, how about the fact that the media is not talking about the best economy in nearly 100 years in this country? This is, I'll shock you for a second. This economy does have a lot to do with Barack Obama. You know in what way?
a reactionary way.
He's
I'm
not
sure.
here any
Yes,
longer. Yes. He's not here any longer. This economy has nothing to do with Obama's policies. It has to do with his policies are finally gone. We've turned on the afterburners that should have happened during the Obama presidency and never did. That's why the economy's going up like the hockey stick. That's why the Dow Jones just blew out another record yesterday and is now up again today at all-time highs. That's why all the economic metrics in every employment class are... You're right. You said it just earlier. If the media would only talk about these things, the president would get a lot more fair shake, and this country would be in a lot more... We'd have a lot more realization about the fact that we are living in some of our most prosperous times.
Yeah, and we're avoiding it. We're avoiding the acknowledgement of it in the beginning, and it's very frustrating. I'm going to take a quick phone call here before we go to a break. Kevin, thanks for calling the show.
Hello, Annie. It's good hearing from you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Annie,
Yeah.
this election, and Tim knows my wife and I, and how mad we were what they did to our elected governor in the state of Missouri. But this Hawley has got nothing to do with Hawley. This is the President of the United States. He needs this man in there. We need to get together. We need to vote Hawley in. We need to get rid of McCaskill so we know that they can't do the same thing that they did to our governor in the state of Missouri. And Tim knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's my comment here.
Kevin,
Bye-bye.
thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. It sounds like he was talking to you.
I think I know who that was. So, yeah, he's right. He's exactly right. The McCaskill has she's shown her cards, right? She put all her cards out on the table this week.
Yeah, there's no disclosing where she stands, who she stands with.
And there's no reason for plus 19 pro-Trump Missouri voters to not go to the polls and vote her out because she's not with us. She's not with your president on tax policy. She's not with our president on his Supreme Court judges, reducing regulations, foreign policy. I mean, maybe she's voting to move Flag Day from one day to the other or something so she can say, I voted with the president a couple times.
Yeah.
But on any critical issue, McCaskill has said she does not care about the will of the Missouri voter. Why in the world would you reelect her to another term if she's just going to fight and push back against everything this president wants to do positively for us?
The Real Clear Politics average right now has Hawley up by 0.6 points. So
Yeah.
it's razor thin. The Fox News poll has them at a tie. NBC News has them at a tie. CBS News has them at a tie. And it really all comes down to the Missouri voter. And if you're gonna stay at home because you're mad about something, you get to think about it for the next 6 years when Claire McCaskill is your senator.
And when the president is possibly... Now, I think our congressional district will all be voted back in. That's the House is the key thing here. But let's show that there's no enthusiasm gap here in Missouri. I don't think there is. This event down in Springfield, I heard they've got an 8 to 10,000 seat arena. And there's over 20,000 requests for tickets.
Oh my gosh. 6:30 tonight at the JQH Arena in Springfield?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if folks can still get tickets. Doesn't sound like it, but maybe you'll get lucky. If you're
Go
down in
show
that
up
neck
and
of the
hold
woods.
a sign on the road while he drives in.
Because the protesters will be there. So
Overwhelm the
peacefully protest those who do not like the direction our
Yeah.
country's going in, which isn't a great
If
one.
you can go by a gasoline station and hold a pro-Trump sign, so politely and respectfully, love your neighbor. Support your president. All right. Tim Jones Show, Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. right here. And you got a fill-in this weekend, don't you?
Yes, we do. We got Representative Nick Schroer and Ken Williams are going to keep the truck between the ditches.
That's all we all do.
I'll be calling in to make sure the show's still on the air. So.
Ship shape, absolutely. Tim Jones, thanks so much for coming in. More phone calls and an Annie, are you okay? I think. Frank, out there? Just checking. We'll do that as soon as we come back. Happy Friday to you. Facebook.com/Annie Fry Show. On Twitter @Annie Fry Show. And